it's in 1 point perspective because the front face of the box is parallel to the picture plane. This is my ground plane. That is what I'm drawing from. I'm not drawing all the way from the floor where I'm standing. I even put this up on boxes to get it closer to my eye level, closer to inside my cone of vision. So when you're setting up a still life, you want to think about that. You don't want it to be too far up or too far down because it's going to be really, really distorted. So I propped up 3 boxes to set this little tiny object on, and now I'm going to draw it. So this is my ground plane. This is my picture plane. So where this front face hits the ground plane, that's called my ground line. I already put up a string to represent my eye level, and I'm going to make a little mark on this piece of paper where I want my ground plane to start, or my ground line to start. So my ground line is going to be right here. Now I'm actually going to measure where, if I take this and I measure my eye level, is 9 inches. Now if my scale was different, I would have to multiply whatever my scale on paper was to change my eye level, but it's 1, so you would actually measure in actual life times my scale on paper. So my scale on paper is 1. So now I'm going to lay this down on here, and this is over to my left, so my piece of paper needs to be over to my left too. So I'm going to lay this down. Now this needs to be 9 inches below that eye level. So if I take this and I pin this in, I have that pinned in 9 inches from my ground line to my eye level. It's 9 inches. Again, how is that related? Thinking about the fact that if I actually measure my eye level, because this is a 1-to-1 scale, this is 9 inches. That's my actual eye level is at 9 inches. So we're representing the same exact thing on this piece of paper. Alright, so now when I measured this box, it was about 2 1/4 inches. So it's going to be about 2 1/4 inches on here. I'm going to just guesstimate that right now. And when I draw my lines, before I even go and start to do that, I want to talk about that. I want to use my whole arm. Think about when you were a kid and you did these spinny arm things in gym class. Use your whole arm. Use your whole arm. You don't want to do this. So keep it steady. And the faster you go, the more likely you are to have a nice, clean, straight line. To kind of encourage some line weight, you could kind of come in soft, push a little harder, and ease up. But right now, I really just want you to focus on trying to keep a straight line. Practicing doing lines, this is a good thing to practice. And you can change how you hold your pencil. So this pencil's a little shorter, so I put it into my extender. So right now, I'm going to draw my square, about 2 1/4 inches. Okay, so I have a square. Now, to find the central vanishing point, I'm going to line this up and find that angle. once I have figured out where that angle is, I'm going to mark that on here. So I take my pin, stick it into my eye level. So that is where that intersected, right here. And I just used my skewer to find that. Now everything on this box vanishes to this. This is a little bit wavy, so I just kind of fixed that. I can use this to kind of guide to my central vanishing point. Okay, so I have all of those lines going to my central vanishing point. Now I could guesstimate where my back edge is, but instead I am going to talk about how the distance is in relation. Find my cone of vision to find where the back edge intersects. I'm going to measure how far I am from my station point to the objects that I'm drawing. The formula is your distance to your still life times 2 times your scale on paper. So if I'm actually measuring, because I'm on 1-to-1 scale, I can actually just measure this like this, doubled. And then I can take this and pin it right in to my central vanishing point, which is right here. They're going to be equal distance to each side. And that's just happening to fall right on there. That doesn't usually happen. I'm going to lay this down right on here. Usually I have to pin them in. Well, I might still have to pin this one in. Okay, so that falls right on this line. This is my eye level line. This is my cone of vision. So now to find the back edge, where the back edge intersects, I'm going to put one of my loops on my end of my cone of vision. Make sure it's usually not on the end like that one is. So make sure you put it on the right line, which would be my yellow line. If I go from this corner, so like the opposite corner to here, and mark this with a little mark, where that is an intersection, could draw a line all the way up there. So you could, but I want you to understand that that's right there. Now if I draw this line straight up, and this line straight over. Okay, so I have my perfect cube. Now, it's a Rubik's Cube, so how do I divide that up? So I'm going to try to visually divide this into 3, and this is really important. You could actually measure this. That's not a bad idea. With a ruler and figure out your exact measurements to make sure that they're accurate. And you just take your string, draw up to here for this side. For this front, I'm just going to draw these lines straight across. Okay, now to find where you have your intersections, if I draw a line very lightly from this corner to this corner, wherever you have these intersections, so this is cube division, we kind of come like this, and I can do the same thing over here. So I'll divide here and here. and then the top here goes to here.